Welcome back, my gardening friends, to the end of December 2022 plot tour. Progress on the jobs that we set ourselves, and as we move along into plot 1, we haven't been able to do anything with the strawberry bed. This will be my giant cabbages. I've just received some giant cabbage seed, so we'll be getting the grow room up and running. We've managed to get the autumn fruiting raspberries cut down. We've got some nice log ashes around them and mulched up with cocoa coir. And it won't be long before we do the rest of the fruit bushes. Everything has been absolutely wet through. November was so wet. December we've had 2 good weeks of heavy frost. Some people have had the snow, so plenty of time for a cup of coffee. I've been trying to keep on top of everything, but it has been difficult. I haven't made any more progress on this cage. I've got myself a centre punch now to make it easier to drill into those round poles. The 700 litres of compost that we found that was unscrupulously dumped by the cannabis growers is slowly going down. We've used some on the autumn fruit and raspberries, some on the carrots. I've got 2 bags of leaves out here still to go in the mould bin. These are the autumn fruiting raspberry canes. Just going to try and dry them out a little bit, see if there's any more that we can save. And I've got these under the cover here. Try and keep them a little bit drier so they can dry out naturally, and then they can go over in the storage over there at the end of the leaf mould bay, which we've now completed. Need to tidy up the comfrey, the Bocking 14. Get that all tidied up and mulched. We've got an escapee there. I'll see whether we can just nip that off. It's probably come through the corner. We haven't managed to get anything done here. The wind's been quite horrific. I've covered these up once. I need to cover those up again to keep that wood reasonably dry, so we can keep warm on the colder days. I've noticed that we've got a few of the bulbs now coming through. Now it hasn't been snowing, it's all that perlite in the cannabis compost that we find. But this area now will be manageable. All the bulbs are from home and from other areas around these allotments. Still haven't done anything with these strawberries, but I think moving them every year will pay, because with just a little bit of tidying up, taking a few leaves off, they can look like this, and just getting rid of the old dead leaves etc. will help the plant produce the new leaves. The leaf mould bin is completed. We managed to get the roof on between Christmas and New Year. I siliconed it all up and then it rained. Silicon hasn't gone off on the joints. I am kicking myself. I tried to be clever, which means now I've got dirty water in that barrel which we can't use. We've had a tidy up here. Comfrey's just starting to show again. It's always worth keeping on top of these. I've had a couple of hours just tidying up today. Nothing to show you in the in here. One last bag of Christmas potatoes. Hopefully they'll be reasonably good. The ones that we did reveal Christmas Day, none of them went rotten, so luckily enough there was enough protection in this greenhouse while we had the 2 week of solid icy thaw, solid ground, etc. So we've now got 15 bags there. There's 2 further down that you've already seen. So I've still got 3 more to collect, and there's the total for the 700 litres we got in December, so we're up to 30,110 litres now. And I found a little home for my container there. This on the end of the compost bin, leaf mould bin. It's worked out really well. I've just got to get my canes sorted now, etc. I've removed the siphoning pipe from there because I don't want any of the dirty water getting anywhere else. I'll need to dispose of that responsibly, and I've cut the tops off those lids, put them somewhere safe, and they're ready for the giant potatoes. And now we're having a decent tidy up, get those 2 bags out the way. I'll get the rotavator on this and on that over there, and this will be where I'll be doing my 1 row of giant condors and some Picasso to try and get a giant potato for the Malvern show. And this container here is going to hold some mint, because we found that putting large sprigs of mint around the beans and peas stop the mice from finding them. The smell must the mice smell the beans out and peas, and the mint stop them. So I'm going to have it in there, and hopefully it won't escape. The mint, that is. In 2021 we collected 25 bags of these leaves, and those 25 bags now are in this bin. And I found the polycarbonate sheets a lot better, be able to undo those and get the easy access. We had a nice tidy up, cleaned all the debris up, and don't have a fire next to your blue barrels. You might be able to see a line about 1/3 of the way down. Well, that's where the water level was. Now if the barrels had been full to the top, they wouldn't have water melted. When they get low enough, I'm going to turn them round, because they're definitely not pleasing to the eye. Very embarrassing. Again, I could have kicked myself. As we move on to plot 3, all the leaves now have come off all the bushes in here, so January we can get in here and get some pruning done. I'm going vertical on all of these now, and those straps will hold everything in, because before I just couldn't walk down. So a different pruning method this time. This is the asparagus bed and my underground worm farms. We've repurposed some of the signs. We've got new cardboard inserts, and hopefully there'll be some worms in here. To break that down and move the worm castings around the actual bed. Be interesting to see how the temporary compost bins have done. Definitely haven't got any weeds growing around because we mulched it with the leaves. All the turnips have rotted off. The chard's looking a bit sad, but it's started to reshoot there in the middle. So we'll bear with it, but a lot of the other stuff's gone. Swedes are pretty hardy. They haven't grown very well, but as long as I can get a little bit of meat off them. Brussels have done fine. Purple sprouting looks really good. The net on the top is to stop the pigeons flying in and landing on top of the brassicas. They can walk in, but they can't climb up. They physically have to fly in and land on top of your brassicas to do the damage that they do. The carrots have now been covered up, insulated, covered with cardboard to protect them. Some have now split because of all the rain that we've had. Should have done it a lot earlier, like I did the parsnips. And these are just some of the buckets that I collect the stones and rubbish, and they're full and overflowing. We've rejuvenated 2023's parsnip bed. That had the celery this year, it's had nothing else. So that's been rejuvenated, and we'll continue to harvest the parsnips from there. As you can see, it's sloping from right to left to keep the water off the parsnips, stop them going rotten. I planted some of these pea terrain from just seeds late on, and we don't normally get those frosts, but what I will do when the polytunnel's up and running with a bit of heat in there, I'll overwinter them in there. I think these can come out. The oprea is looking a little bit sad, so are the walking onions and the crimson broad beans. I'm just going to leave them. They're getting worse now, so there's no good tying them up. I think I'll just wait for the new shoots hopefully to appear. If not, I've got plenty of beans, I can plant some more. These golden gourmet shallots, new seed. I'm glad I treated myself to those now. They're not looking too bad. Like I said in a previous video with me onions, we'll tidy them up March time, and I'm just going to leave the field beans. I'm sure they'll give me a little bit of seed to do the green manure like we did on all these beds here. It's well worth it, but again, we're not used to the extremes of weather. We've sorted out the wick guttering in these two. This one I've found time to mark up where the holes need to be. Once I've done the holes on that, transfer the holes onto this, take them home, cut them out, bring them back. These are the golden gourmet save seed, and they don't look too bad. Those there looking a little bit sad, but we'll see. Plenty of green growth there. It's whether they rot off first or not, and the frost has just nipped one or two of the elephant garlic. The red Russian garlic is just poking its head up, so depending on what weather we get in January and February. The frost did get to the giant carrots, just started to go rotten, so we'll leave them to it, and we'll see if we can get any to go to seed. I've put some of the spent potato compost, my homemade compost. Whoops, it doesn't like that. And there's some of the material that hasn't got any nutrients in, ideal for those carrot boxes with systems that we've just looked at. And then the manure that's in here we can transfer to this bed here. We're ready for the giant carrots and other giants that we're doing. I'd like to wish everybody a happy new year. This video will go up at 11. It will have gone up at 11 PM New Year's Eve, just to get the end of December plot tour out the way. But I'd like to wish everyone a very happy new year and a lovely growing season, and hopefully we can save ourselves a little bit of money by growing our own. Happy gardening to you all. Till next time, my friends. Ta-ra for now.